Hi there, it's Brian Stinson from the Peak Fleet. We're continuing our Value of Values During a Crisis video series. Today we're going to talk about empathy. Empathy is both a value and a strength. The definition of empathy is the instinctive ability to understand another's feelings and respond appropriately to them. I think that almost sounds like a superpower, the ability to feel or to know what others are feeling. Empathy is really important to me. In fact, it's one of our peak values. It's the E in peak. Although on a personal level, empathy isn't one of my top six. It isn't one of my core values. But I do think it's a really important ingredient for healthy culture. I think it's an incredibly powerful leadership trait. But let's talk about what's happening right now. My perspective is for people whom empathy is something that's really important to them, what I imagine is, or what I feel is that it's really important to connect with others. It's really important to be understood. It's important for those around you to seek to understand. And so again, I think empathy is what leads to connection, and that's at its core, that's what humans crave. In terms of what's happening right now during a crisis, I see a lot of growth. I see, because of what's happening, and not just with the pandemic, but also with the civil rights movement that's happening, there's a lot more. I'm really impressed with how many people are seeking perspectives that are different than their own. So that's where empathy as a capability begins to grow. In terms of being a little bit overwhelmed, I think one thing that we can do is probably unplug a little bit. If you're feeling overwhelmed with feelings or the suffering of others, for instance, it's probably worth taking a break and unplugging. Recently, I exercised my own empathetic capability as the movement around Black Lives Matter got stronger and stronger. I realized there was a perspective that I didn't really understand and that I needed to investigate. And the more I dug into what was going on, the more I read about things like how to be an anti-racist. It was really enlightening to me that in the end, it occurred to me that simply not being racist wasn't enough. It really where I need to be kind of striving towards, and to my goal should be that of anti-racism, and to do what I can to help end systemic racism in this country. So what do? I think there's three things: stop it, grow it, use it. So in terms of stopping, for those who are feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the feelings that are in the environment, it's probably healthy to unplug a little bit, disconnect, get some me time. For those, for number two, grow it. The more that we take perspectives of others, the more that we seek out new experiences, the more we grow our empathetic capability, and that's only a good thing. And then finally, using it. Use your empathy, because the result of empathy is connection, and humans are hardwired for connection. So the more you use your empathy, the more you practice empathy, the more you'll have connection, the more you'll create connections, and again, that's good for all of us. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that video. We're making our way through all 55 values in the Peak Values card deck. We're examining living with intention and within your values, especially during this time of the COVID-19 crisis. We want to hear from you, so please leave comments here on social media, on YouTube, or you can reach us at info@thepeakfleet.com. If you visit our website, you can find our Peak Values card deck under the product page, and also learn about our other services. I hope you stay safe and healthy, and we'll talk to you soon.